The earth just shifted beneath the feet of Monday Night Raw. And if you weren't paying attention, if you blinked for even a second, you missed the moment that everything changed. Obafimi, the most dominant force NXT has ever witnessed, the ruler who turned that brand into his personal kingdom, has just declared war on the main roster. And not just any brand. Raw, the flagship, the show of shows, the home of legends. And he didn't ask for permission. He didn't wait for an invitation. He didn't knock on the door. Obafimi kicked it clean off the hinges and announced to the entire world that Raw now belongs to him. Now, I need you to understand something right from the jump. This isn't just another call-up. This isn't some fresh-faced kid getting his first taste of the big leagues, wide-eyed and grateful just to be there. No, this is a conqueror arriving on new shores with one singular mission: total domination. Because Obafimi doesn't do humble. He doesn't do grateful. He doesn't even do excited. What Obafimi does is destroy. And Monday Night Raw just became his next conquest. Let me paint you the picture. The arena is buzzing. The crowd is hot. Raw is rolling through another segment when suddenly, without warning, the lights flicker. The music hits. Not some generic entrance theme, not some recycled beat. That thunderous, earth-shaking anthem that has been the soundtrack to destruction in NXT. The Titantron lights up with two words that send a shockwave through the building: Obafimi. And the crowd erupts. Half of them are losing their minds with excitement because they know what this man is capable of. The other half? They're stunned, confused, wondering if what they're seeing is actually real. And then he emerges. 6 feet 4 inches, 275 pounds of pure, unadulterated power. Moving with the confidence of a man who has never, not once in his career, had to question whether he belonged. Every step deliberate, every movement calculated. The camera tries to capture his intensity, but honestly, nothing can truly bottle what Obafimi brings to that ring. It's not just presence. It's gravitational pull. When he walks, the entire universe bends toward him. He steps into that ring, and you can feel it. The atmosphere is electric. Some fans are chanting his name. Others are silent, holding their breath, waiting to see what happens next. Oba takes the microphone, and when he speaks, his voice doesn't waver. There's no nervousness, no moment of soaking it all in. Just cold, hard truth. I am Obafimi, and Raw is now my kingdom. 6 seconds. That's all it took. 6 seconds to announce his arrival and his intentions. No long-winded promo about dreams coming true. No thank yous to Triple H or the WWE Universe. Just a declaration of intent so powerful that it echoed through every locker room, every hallway, every corner of that arena. And you could see it on the faces of everyone watching, both in the crowd and backstage. This wasn't business as usual. This was a paradigm shift. Now, let's rewind for a second, because to truly understand the magnitude of this moment, you need to understand who Obafimi is and what he's already accomplished. This man didn't just succeed in NXT. He dominated it in a way we haven't seen in years. He held the NXT North American Championship for over 400 days. 400 days of absolute supremacy. Challenger after challenger stepped up, and one by one, they all fell. Wes Lee, dominated. Dijak, demolished. Joe Coffey, dismantled. It didn't matter who they threw at him, it didn't matter what style they brought, it didn't matter if they were technical wizards or high-flying daredevils or smash-mouth brawlers. Obafimi steamrolled them all. And the scary part? He made it look easy. Not in an arrogant way, but in a way that made you realize you were watching someone operating on a completely different level. Every powerbomb felt like it could split the ring in half. Every spear looked like it could break someone clean in two. Every victory wasn't just a win, it was a statement. A reminder that Obafimi wasn't just another competitor. He was the benchmark, the final boss, the unconquerable mountain. But here's where it gets really interesting. Because Oba didn't leave NXT as a conquered hero riding off into the sunset. He left as a ruler looking for new lands to claim. He'd done everything there was to do in NXT. He'd beaten everyone there was to beat. He'd proven everything there was to prove. And when there were no more challengers left, when the kingdom had been completely conquered, he set his sights on something bigger. Raw. And that's what makes this so dangerous. Obafimi isn't coming to Raw to learn. He's not coming to pay his dues or work his way up the card. He's coming to take what he believes is already his. And based on what we've seen him do, based on the path of destruction he's left behind. Who's going to stop him? Think about the Raw roster right now. You've got established stars, legends, champions, future Hall of Famers. But here's the reality check: none of them want to hear. Obafimi doesn't care about your legacy. He doesn't care about your accomplishments. He doesn't care how many WrestleManias you've main event or how many championships you've held. In his eyes, you're just the next name on the list, the next obstacle to be removed, the next victim in his rise to the top. Picture this: Gunther, the ring general, the Intercontinental Champion who has decimated everyone in his path with surgical precision. That's a dream match, right? The unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. But here's the thing: Obafimi is younger, hungrier, and arguably just as dominant. That match doesn't just have the potential to be a classic. It has the potential to be a changing of the guard, a passing of the torch. Except Oba isn't waiting for anyone to hand him anything. He's taking it. Or what about Seth Rollins? The visionary, the architect, the man who's been the heart and soul of Raw for years. Seth has seen it all, done it all, beaten it all. But has he ever faced someone like Obafimi? Someone who doesn't just match his intensity but exceeds it? Someone who can't be outthought or outwrestled because his physical dominance simply overwhelms every game plan? That's not just a match. That's a war. And wars have casualties. Drew McIntyre, Bronson Reed, Damian Priest. These are monsters in their own right, giants among men. But Obafimi has made a career out of destroying giants. He doesn't back down from size. He embraces it. He runs toward it. Because every time he topples someone bigger, stronger, more experienced, it adds another layer to his legend. And then there's the World Heavyweight Championship picture. CM Punk's recent victory sent shockwaves through the WWE Universe, but imagine this scenario. Imagine Obafimi, in his first few months on Raw, cutting through the roster like a hot knife through butter, building momentum with every devastating victory, until he's standing face to face with the World Heavyweight Champion. The crowd would lose their minds. Because that's not just a title match. That's a coronation in the making. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Because the most beautiful and terrifying thing about Obafimi's arrival is the unpredictability. We don't know who he's targeting first. We don't know what his immediate plans are. All we know is that he's here, he's announced his intentions, and Raw will never be the same. Social media exploded within seconds of his announcement. Twitter was on fire. Instagram was flooded. YouTube was buzzing. Fans were losing their minds, sharing clips, breaking down every second of his appearance, speculating about dream matches and potential rivalries. Wrestling journalists were scrambling to get statements from WWE officials. Wrestlers were being asked backstage for their reactions, and you could see it in their eyes. Some were excited. Some were intrigued. But most looked concerned. Because they know what Obafimi represents. He represents change. He represents danger. He represents the future arriving ahead of schedule and demanding its place right now. The beauty of this moment is that it feels organic. It feels real. There's no manufactured hype, no corporate push being shoved down our throats. This is a competitor who earned every ounce of this opportunity through sheer dominance. The WWE Universe respects that. They recognize authenticity when they see it. And Obafimi? He's as authentic as they come. Now, let's talk about what this means for the landscape of Raw going forward. Because one man's arrival can create a ripple effect that changes everything. Suddenly, established storylines have a new variable. Suddenly, wrestlers who thought they had clear paths to championships now have to account for this new threat. Suddenly, general managers and authority figures have to figure out how to handle someone who doesn't play by the traditional rules, who doesn't wait for opportunities but creates them through force. Tag team divisions, mid-card championships, main event scenes, everything is now up for grabs. Because Obafimi's presence alone raises the stakes. If you're in a storyline on Raw right now, you have to be looking over your shoulder, wondering if and when he's going to insert himself into your world. And when he does, there's no guarantee you survive the encounter. The storytelling possibilities are endless. Imagine Oba forming an alliance with other dominant forces, creating an unstoppable faction that runs roughshod over Raw. Or imagine him as a lone wolf, trusting no one, needing no one, cutting through the roster solo because he genuinely believes he doesn't need help to achieve his goals. Both scenarios are terrifying for different reasons. What makes Obafimi so captivating as a performer is his complete commitment to his character. There's no winking at the camera. There's no breaking the fourth wall. When he says Raw is his kingdom, he believes it with every fiber of his being. And that conviction, that unwavering self-belief, is what makes him so compelling to watch. You're not just seeing a wrestler. You're seeing a man on a mission. A man possessed by purpose. A man who will not stop until he's achieved total supremacy. And here's the thing that should scare everyone on the Raw roster: Obafimi is still developing, still evolving, still getting better. Think about that for a second. Everything he accomplished in NXT, all that dominance, all those defenses, all the destruction, that was him still learning his craft, still figuring out who he is as a performer. Now imagine what he becomes with more experience. More reps, more time to refine his already devastating arsenal. The ceiling for this man isn't just high, it's stratospheric. The announce team is going to have their hands full trying to call his matches, because Obafimi doesn't do your typical wrestling match structure. He doesn't follow traditional formulas. He dictates the pace. He controls the narrative. And when he decides it's time to end things, they end. Violently, decisively, conclusively. There are no flukes when Oba wins. There are no lucky breaks. Just pure, undeniable dominance. As this video comes to a close, I want you to really sit with what just happened. Monday Night Raw, the flagship show of the most successful wrestling company in the world, just got a new ruler. Whether the current roster accepts it or not, whether management planned for it or not, Obafimi has arrived and declared his intentions. Raw is his kingdom now. And kingdoms don't share power. They don't negotiate. They conquer. They expand. They dominate. The question isn't whether Obafimi will make an impact on Raw. The question is how many careers will be changed, how many championships will change hands, and how many moments will be created in his wake. This is the beginning of something monumental. Something we'll be talking about for years to come. The Obafimi era on Raw has officially begun, and the entire wrestling world is watching. So what do you think? Is Obafimi going to live up to the hype on Raw? Who do you want to see him face first? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I want to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, if this got you hyped for what's coming next, show some love by hitting the like button and subscribing to WWE Sphere, because we're going to be covering every single moment of Obafimi's reign of dominance right here. Raw just got a whole lot more dangerous, and we're here for every second of it. The king has arrived. Long live the king.